Position, you know, Mamiko. Hey, we're going to go for Africa.
When your brother is producing something and you patronizing your brother.
Listen to Planet's 101.1 FM news at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 5 p.m. with our news in special English at 2:30 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Planet's Radio 101.1 FM, evolving around you.
Welcome to the news at 6. In the highlight, Akwa Ibom State Governor Ofonono unveils plan for new Uyo GRA creative village on reclaimed dam site. Akwa Ibom State Government reaffirms authority over Stubbs Creek Reserve, backs coastal highway project. Executive Chairman of Ofonono Local Government Area, Elder Ntiedo Usoro, presents 15.6 billion naira budget of unity and transformation for 2026. On the foreign scene, U.S. introduces $15,000 visa ban for Nigerians. Others. In the world of sports, Ole Solskjaer and Michael Carrick fight to replace Amorim at Manchester United as interim manager. Stay tuned for details of these stories and more in a moment. A very good evening to you. Welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. My name is Ofonono Joseph. First in the news this evening is that Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Ofonono has disclosed plans to transform the reclaimed Uyo Village refuse dump site into a modern government residential area, GRA, and creative village to checkmate housing deficit in the state. The governor made the disclosure while fielding questions from Government House correspondents immediately after his inspection of the reclaimed refuse dump site spanning over 100 hectares of land alongside the ravine-prone landscape that has been sand-filled for the project. Governor revealed that the ravine landscape will be adequately transformed to contain Uyo GRA first, with about 150 middle-class housing and the creative village with a spur to link them all. He added that the whole area has been reclaimed and mapped out for proper development purposes with appropriate water channels. According to him, the project is strategically designed to open up previously unusable land, address erosion challenges, and create new development corridors for housing, agriculture, and creative industry, all within close proximity to the Uyo city center. The governor explained that his decision to visit the site was informed by the need to physically examine the road design and fully appreciate the scope of work being executed by the contractors beyond technical presentations earlier made in his office. Let's listen to the governor.
We're looking at the road design. This is the best time to get the road project off the ground, moving, and I needed to see physically. The truth is, with vision, with foresight, we can do a lot. And today it's being reclaimed. I'm told there's over 100 hectares of land behind us that we can use for agriculture, for housing, for whatever project. So we're reclaiming, and they've done a fantastic job. And water will now be channeled properly to address the erosion, and we reclaim the land. And on the other side, we're going to have Uyo GRA, first with about 150 middle-class housing. Then we have the creative village. From this bridge, you create a spur to the creative village, to the Uyo GRA, and to this side, another housing project or an agricultural project. And this is close to the city center.
Expressing satisfaction with the progress of so far achieved, the governor noted that the area once used as a dump site has been successfully reclaimed to address erosion and ensure sustainable land recovery, adding that the intervention would support long-term urban growth. He urged contractors handling government projects to ensure timely delivery and quality execution, noting that the Uyo Village Road project will address housing deficit to accommodate middle-income housing and other strategic residential development. Speaking further, Governor Eno said the projects are opening up significant job opportunities for youths and local workers, urging them to embrace the opportunities and uphold the culture of hard work, emphasizing that deliberate infrastructural development could serve as a catalyst for economic growth across the state. He enjoined the people of the state to continue to support his administration's Arise agenda of making the life of every citizen to count with expected impact and transformation. Away from that, the Akwa Ibom state government has reaffirmed its lawful authority over the Stops Creek Forest Reserve, dismissing as false and misleading recent claims by a group known as the Eket People's Union regarding ownership of land with the reserve, while also restating its full support for the federal government's coastal highway project. In a statement issued by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Uko Udom, the government said it was compelled to address the matter in the overriding public interest, despite the existence of a pending suit filed by the same group before a court of competent jurisdiction, clarifying that a historic case of Ntiaro Anikbak versus Iboe Trokban and Edoekat, decided by the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council in 1918, did not vest ownership of Stops Creek land in any ethnic group or community. Rather, the final judgment merely dismissed the claims before the court and granted title to no party. According to the statement, any contrary interpretation being circulated in the public space amounts to a distortion of the judicial record and is misleading. The government further explained that the Stops Creek land was subsequently lawful constituted as a forest reserve by the colonial government of Nigeria under Forest Reserve Order number 45 of 1930, with amendments in 1941, 1955, and 1962. Upon its reservation, principal rights over the land were forfeited to the government, which has since administered the area in accordance with applicable laws. Reaffirming its constitutional mandate, the state government noted that by virtue of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended and the Land Use Act, all land within Akwa Ibom State is vested in the governor to be held in trust for the use and common benefit of all Nigerians. Consequently, claims of absolute or exclusive ownership founded solely on ancestral or customary accessions are subject to existing law. Meanwhile, the government categorically denied allegations of fraud or misrepresentation in relation to the Stops Creek Forest Reserve or any investments within the area, warning that it would take appropriate legal steps against individuals or groups engaged in the publication of false, misleading, or defamatory information capable of undermining public confidence or discouraging investment and infrastructural development in the state. In furtherance of national development objectives, the Akwa Ibom State government has assured the federal government of its full cooperation, including the grant of unhindered access and right-of-way for the construction of the coastal highway through any part of the state. The statement concluded by reaffirming the government's commitment to the rule of law and to the resolution of all disputes through due judicial process. while urging all parties to refrain from misleading the public and allow matters currently before the court. In this next report, the executive chairman of Asianodum local government area, Elder Ntiado Usora, has presented a 2026 Asianodum local government budget of 15.6 billion naira for the 2026 financial year to the Legislative Council for approval and passage. The budget presentation held at the Nsinu Umoso Legislative Chambers, Afai Korebak, christened Budget of Unity and Transformation, has a projected estimate of 6.318 billion naira for recurrent expenditure, while capital expenditure for the year is projected at 9.228 billion naira. According to Usor, his administration's capital expenditure for 2026 will focus on human capital development, renovation and reconstruction of the Asianodum Unity Hall, renovation and equipping the legislative chambers, including offices to create a conducive working environment for the councillors. Others include renovation and reconstruction of the police staff quarters, in addition to purchase of a functional police patrol vehicle for the Asianodum Police Division, reconstitution of 400 open market stalls at Uraibom in Odoriko 2, and construction of staff canteen and parking carriage for principal officers of the council, among others. The Asianodum Council boss noted with delight that the 2026 budget christened Budget Unity and Transformation is crucial at the time to further reiterate the commitment of his administration to address the various challenges facing Asianodum people, especially in the last 12 months. He observed that the budget is carefully structured to align with the economic strength and comparative opportunities that abound, and expressed optimism that with his administration's resolve to implement the budget to the letter, Asianodum is repositioned on a definite path towards sustainable development and progress. Receiving the budget, the leader of the 8th Asianodum Legislative Council, George Jumbo, thanked the chairman for the cordial relationship between the executive and legislative arm of government in Asianodum, and assisted him of the cooperation of the legislature to grant accelerated hearing to the budget to aid its speedy passage for the good of Asianodum people. Meanwhile, the budget presentation ceremony had in attendance the member representing Asianodum State Constituency, Prince Ubomakwabio II, KSJI, the Vice Chairman, Secretary, all directors, supervisors, former local government chairman, critical stakeholders, aides of the governor from Asianodum, and heads of security agencies in the local government area. In another development, the maiden 2026 ABAC APC caucus meeting took place on Tuesday, January 6, 2026, with a vote of confidence passed on President Bola Tinubu, Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio, and Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino, and a unanimous decision of the people of Abak local government area to mobilize, campaign, and vote massively for the trial come 2027. In a statement jointly signed by the APC chapter chairman of Abak, Ofonono Anaka, Secretary Augustine Edem, Publicity Secretary Udeme Kanta, with all new and old caucus members of Abak extraction in attendance, the meeting convened under Article 12, Sub 14 of the APC Constitution, as amended, called for integration and harmonious working relationship between all party members and government officials in the local government. The caucus promised to work assiduously to ensure Abak citizens of voting age take advantage of the ongoing continuous voters registration (CVR) to get their permanent voter card (PVC) so as to increase and possibly triple the APC votes come 2027. The caucus appreciated Governor Moino for the cordial relationship between him and the Speaker of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udemo Oton, and other appointees from ABAC, submitting that the collaboration has resulted in numerous life-touching projects and empowerment that have impacted positively on the lives of ABAC people. The statement called for peace, unity, and progress among party faithfuls in Abak local government area. It admonished APC members not to do anything to undermine the growth, progress, and stability of the party in the local government, and urged party members to respect Abak's sons and daughters holding any elective office or appointment at the local, state, or national level. The caucus called on the people of Abak to disregard any document or agreement outside that of the APC as regards zoning of elective offices, submitting that such agreement or document is not binding on the party, declaring that such document has no effect on members of the APC. The caucus appreciated all Abak sons and daughters for the support given to the party and called for more of such support and solidarity in the year ahead as the party prepares for the forthcoming APC Congress ahead of the 2027 polls. Away from that, Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami and two others bail in the sum of 500 million naira with two sureties. The sureties, according to the judge, must have landed property in Asokoro, Maitama, Gwarimpa. He added that they must submit their traveling documents to the court. The documents of the properties are to be verified by the Deputy Chief Registrar of the court, while the sureties are also to depose to affidavit of means. Malami was also ordered to deposit his traveling documents with the court and must not travel out of the country without the permission of the court. Meanwhile, Malami has been ordered to be remanded in Kuje prison pending his perfection of the bail conditions. Justice Nwite subsequently fixed February 17 for commencement of trial of the corruption charges. Recall that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) filed a 16-count alleged money laundering charge against Malami, his son, and wife. You are still listening to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM, Uyo. Let's take a breather and then bring you more stories from our forward sports and entertainment scenes. Do stay with us.
Bringing you news stories.
I will say
We have to continue.
Indeed, tactile advancement.
Music, sport, and so much more. Planet 101.1.
you've got the whole idea.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying tuned. You are still tuned into the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM, Uyu. Now let's conclude on the rest of our news stories. We start on the foreign scene where the United States has introduced new travel restrictions that could require Nigerians applying for B1, B2 visas to post bonds of up to $15,000. According to information published on the U.S. Department of State's website, the payment of a bond does not guarantee visa issuance, adding that fees paid without the direction of a consular officer will not be refunded. The development follows the introduction of partial U.S. travel restrictions in Nigeria a week earlier. Recall that Nigeria was among 15 African countries, including Angola, Antigua, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Gabon, the Gambia, and others that were placed under partial travel suspensions by the U.S. We move now to sport, where two Manchester United legends, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick, are locked in a two-way battle to become interim manager of the first team until the end of the season. According to United's chief executive Omar Berada and the director of football Jason Wilcox, both spoke to Solskjaer in Carrick. Reports say Solskjaer was a temporary replacement for Jose Mourinho in December 2018, which led to him staying in charge for almost 3 years, while Carrick stepped in as caretaker for 3 games when Solskjaer was sacked in November 2021. On entertainment scene, Nigerian actress Regina Daniels has finally surrendered herself for a drug test. She disclosed this in a video at the hospital shared on her Instagram page. This came only 3 months after she was accused of substance abuse by her husband and politician, Senator Ned Nwoko. It's been the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo, but before we go, a recap of stories that made the headlines. We brought you a report that Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted the former Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami and 2 others bail in the sum of 500 million naira with 2 sureties. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has disclosed plans to transform the reclaimed Uyo Village refuse dump site into a modern government residential area (GRA) and creative village to checkmate housing deficit in the state. Also, the Akwa Ibom State government has reaffirmed its lawful authority over the Stubbs Creek Forest Reserve, dismissing as false and misleading recent claims by a group known as the Eke People's Union regarding ownership of land within the reserve, while also restating its full support for the federal government's coastal highway project. On the foreign scene, we told you that the United States has introduced new travel restrictions that could require Nigerians applying for B1, B2 visas to post bonds of up to $15,000. And in the world of sports, 2 Manchester United legends, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick, are locked in a 2-way battle to become interim manager of the first team until the end of the season. For comments and coverage of your newsworthy events, call our newsroom hotline on 0701 896 8395. Visit our website on planet101fm.ng and follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at planet_101fm. Also, like our Facebook page at Planet101fm. The news was put together by Jane Owa. As we end the news, let us hold on to hope and embrace the new year with unity, understanding, and renewed strength. My name is Ofonono Joseph. Good evening.